and therefore we tend to like to hire people who are motivated by money because they'll also be looking at the bottom line as well.
I would say in my defence on that throughout I've been honest, and I wasn't going to give a false answer and say I was interested in the money. Further to that I was actually earning more than they were going to be giving anyway, and if I've got as far as I have done, probably more so than many of the other candidates, then I don't need money to motivate me. I need to be in the right position with the right people and able to succeed and lead and have an interest in it.
Michael, what's your take?
Well, I think that there's nothing wrong with being a good leader. I mean, that's what it's about. If you're a really good leader, you won the task as leader, did you not? And they were proud of that. And they're saying, oh, but are you a team player? Well, what's wrong with being the leader? What's wrong with running the business? I mean, that's, you know, maybe Alan Sugar's not such a good team player. He's a natural leader. And to be a... I didn't know I could be so sensible. To be a leader, that's a good thing. You know, well done. Carry on leading. And the fact that you're not motivated by money leads me to ask you to lend me some money.
Claire.
You wouldn't have fitted in. You're a fragile, beautiful flower, and you were not for Alan Sugar, but you brought an awful lot to that programme. And actually, I thought of all the interview techniques, yours was the most interesting and different. And yes, you could have been more confident, and you could have been more ballsy, but that's Helene and Claire, that's not you.
Claire just described you as a fragile flower. I don't know how fragile you are, because you withstood a lot of stick. There were some hard times, weren't there, in your 11 weeks?
How have you got on with your colleagues on The Apprentice?
It has been a struggle within The Apprentice.
For you or for them?
Probably for both.
When I have team members that are doing such ludicrous, stupid things, that is like a fungus that starts eating away at the positivity of the team.
Every time he's come in, it's been the same thing that's got messed up.
I'm doing my absolute best.
It's about being assigned a role.
I am happy doing it, but you put people in the appropriate skill set.
Oh, for Christ's sake, Lucinda. So we'll just move it all around you all the time.
How dare you? I don't like the boxing, I don't like the colours, and I don't like the pictures on it.
You shouldn't have volunteered to go to look at the fucking house.
I didn't
and what you should have done,
volunteer
and what you
to
should
go
have
and look
done,
at the house.
what you should have done is said, look, I'm female, I'm creative, and I want to stay.
And that is what I said, and now I'm having to scream like a banshee. This is not me, it is so frustrating.
This is not me. Well, you said it wasn't you, didn't you?
It's very difficult when you've got two forces working against you and you're sitting in the middle and you've got it from both sides. What can you do? At some time you have to sort of put up your hands and then become a bit docile and quiet. But I found from the sort of last 2-3 weeks that if I said something once and they say, you didn't say that. So that's why in the last two sort of events I kept on repeating again and again so no one could actually backstab me and say, we never heard you say that.
Michael, what's your take?
What really winds me up about the exchanges in The Apprentice is how people are always going, there's no listening at all to each other. There's this whole, can you just let me finish? Can you just let me finish? Can you just let me finish? Because I was talking. Can you just let me finish, all right? Let me finish, because I was this rude to interrupt me, because I was just saying, you're a bitch, right? Now you're...
That just about sums it up, Rachel.
I think that when you were in control, you did very well, and you sort of were very fair and organised with people. I think what happened when you weren't in control was you did get frustrated, and the exchanges became sort of like kindergarten, just fighting and no one listening to anyone at all, so that they couldn't ever end up anywhere positive. And I think that wasn't entirely your fault, but I think that you did get into the same type of exchange quite a lot when you felt you were out of control.
I'd agree.
OK. Let's hear from Sir Alan and some of your so-called friends and colleagues. This is the really difficult bit. Brace yourself, Lucinda.
Lucinda was quite good as a team leader. She was on the winning team 8 out of 10 times. She wasn't so good when she wasn't the team leader, and that made her very disruptive.
I feel that I'm giving things over to you, and I'm not necessarily getting things back.
Can I make a decision, yeah? I think we need to get these people who can resolve this afterwards.
I'd say Lucinda was a difficult character to manage. I don't think Lucinda is a team player. If she's not in control of a situation, she doesn't like it.
I truly believe she's probably the most toxic person in the entire house to manage.
I am panicking. I am panicking we're not meeting our brief. Our brief was to be something different.
Come to the end of my tether with Lucinda. She's very dictatorial in the way she comes across. I think she's full of hot air.
I think she flits from project to project as some kind of enjoyment in her life. Good luck to her. But she's not going to flip around inside my organisation, quite frankly. So that's why I fired Lucinda.
So has Alex just dropped off your Christmas card list?
I had a very good working relationship with Lee, and we got on beautifully. In Marrakesh we worked very well, and I worked very well, being led by him. Also within the ice cream task, he was led very well, and also the wedding task. It's interesting that the moment Alex stepped in, the whole dynamics changed, and it became a pure adrenaline ladfest.
What have you learned about yourself in terms of sort of strength of character? Are you more vulnerable than you thought, or stronger than you thought?
I would say that I am more vulnerable than I thought, and I hadn't actually realised how much support I look for within work environments and within close relationships as well.
Okay, let's have a look at some of the other candidates, the four remaining finalists, if you like. By way of a warm-up, let's see what the great British public make of them.
We want Lee to win because he's a Spurs supporter and he's good looking. Go Lee!
Woo! I want Alex to win. I think he's really confident, a little bit arrogant, but he always gets the sale.
Get Claire to win, you're hot!
Do it for the women!
I like Helen to win because she's charming and beautiful.
I'm rooting for Claire.
I'd like Lee to win. I think his enthusiasm, especially in the car task, was awesome.
I want Alex to win. I think he's really good. He's cool, good-looking guy, seems to know what he's doing.
I want Lee to win because he is a friendly person, he's very good.
We want Claire to win because she's really bossy and ballsy, but in a really good way.
Okay, let's start with Lee then, and let's get over the subject of his terrible porking.
Were doing a degree, were you?
I was there for 2 years.
Sure it was 2 years?
As far as I'm aware, it was 2 years, yes.
University's actually dropped me a line here, confirming that you're only there 4 months.
I am insecure about my educational background. Maybe I feel like I should have done better at school.
Did they ever teach you spelling?
They did. Well, spelling in education isn't my forte, to be honest.
That's quite clear.
When people look at me, do they think she hasn't got the right background? That's where my insecurities come from. Because their opinion counts for where my future's going.
Rachel, what would you do faced with that kind of lie on a CV?
I have to say, it is amazing how many people lie on their CVs. But he's worked in recruitment, and he should have given it up quicker and just said, hands up. I think, you know, when he got to the boardroom, his explanation for it was actually quite good, which is that he wanted the job so much, he was trying to help his case.
Claire, what did you make of the lie?
I have to say, I think he's done incredibly well, given that he's clearly dyslexic and he hasn't necessarily.
Well, he never said that.
Diagnosed.
I mean,
yeah, but he may not have